they go to daycare full time, they had actually called us to tell us that he had had a seizure. And when we got there, 3 of the staff were crying. Nobody knew what to do. They had all of the lights turned down because he said when the lights were on, it was just pain. Everything was so painful. So we obviously thought he had had a seizure, and so did they. But it was not. It was just he was shaking so much that it looked like it. From the daycare time to the time he was actually diagnosed was about 6 months. But that wasn't the beginning. The beginning of it, we had taken him to the hospital multiple times before it got to that breaking point. He stopped walking. He wasn't even able to get out of bed.
His legs were just randomly hurting, and at first you think it's a growing pain, but you're like, there's no way this is a growing pain being this much, right?
The only part I remember when I first had it, I couldn't get out of bed, or I had to carry things a lot, and it would hurt really bad.
There was a lot of times we go to the children's hospital and they just told us he was lazy, that he didn't want to, he was milking it. So we got sent home a lot.
It made us feel stupid. We truly did. And so we started to actually force him to do certain things because we didn't want him to take advantage of us, thinking it was a psychological thing.
Say, okay, you gotta man up a little bit here, bud, and you're just being lazy, start walking. As a dad, I felt guilty after we found out that he had CIDP. We were so upset with our doctor and her team. We tried to actually transfer up to Edmonton, which is a 5.5-hour drive.
We've actually even considered coming to Toronto because we have heard that it's got the best pediatric neurologist. So we've considered that, but unfortunately the way that the healthcare system works is that if he switches his neurologist to a different location, he also has to do his infusions there, and he gets infusions every 3 to 4 weeks. So it's impossible.
It's sort of hard sometimes dealing with it because it's so unknown.
You want to relate to someone. And I think right now it's hard for us because we don't have really anyone that we can relate to on a pediatric level.
Yeah.
Recently, we've been weaning him off of his prednisone, which is the steroids he was on, and he became very suicidal because of it. So as parents, when your 7-year-old or 6-year-old at the time is telling you he doesn't want to live anymore, you need that support.
We started doing our research on the drug itself, like the steroids, and we were told that, yeah, it just has, that's one of the outcomes of it is, you get depressed. Everybody gets depressed on this stuff. And we're like, well, why are you giving it to them?
But no matter how many times somebody tells you, well, it's just a side effect. It's just a side effect. It doesn't matter if it's just a side effect. That doesn't change the fact that that's how he's feeling in that moment, at that time. You go into his room and you're getting him tucked in for bed and you're reading a story and he's just starts crying and tells you he doesn't want to live anymore. Nobody can ever prepare you for that moment when your 6-year-old tells you that, ever. And it's hard to deal with too because it's on and off. He'll be crying 1 minute and literally 2 minutes later, he's playing.
How are you doing with all this, Ryder?
Not really good. Usually all of my friends try to race me, but I can't. It really makes me feel bad about myself because I have the disease, and it kind of hurts my feelings because I have the disease and I can't run faster than them.
Sorry, can we Sorry. As a parent, all you can think of is, how can I help? I need to fix this. As a parent, you want to fix the problem, and when you can't, it makes life very difficult. If you're feeling strained or tired or whatever the situation may be, I know that a lot of time people say, no pain, no gain. That's what they say. That is not the case with this disease. If you're tired or your child is tired, stop. Stop what you're doing, let your body rest. There's a reason it's tired, it's trying to tell you something. Don't push it just because your child is not acting the same way another child would. If you feel like as a parent that something is wrong, chances are something is wrong. And if it's not wrong, it doesn't hurt to get it checked.
You're around your kid all the time. The doctor's not. And like she said, with your instincts, you know there's something wrong. With him, sometimes it comes, sometimes it goes. And just because it's not happening at that minute doesn't mean that it's not there. We had to make a big time push with the doctors. We had to sit at the Alberta Children's Hospital one night and just sit there and basically hold our ground and say, no, we're staying here until we figure something out. That's when they started doing the tests. So don't let the doctors sort of push you around. If they say, oh, no, it's fine, hold your guns on it, 100%. The nurses themselves in the Calgary hospital, the ones that...
In the day treatment unit.
They give him his infusion, are just fantastic. Like, they're the nicest ladies ever.
Well, when I get the needle in, it doesn't hurt as bad as the tape, because the tape, it really rips off my hair, kind of, and it hurts really bad more than the needle.
The first time he actually took off and ran, and they had to go catch him.
Well, the best part is that in the middle of it, you get to go in a place where you get to play.
He's so used to it now. He goes in, they used to do numbing cream. He's given up on that now. And yeah, he just kind of gets it done, plays on his iPad or plays in the playroom. Or it's kind of nice because it gives us that like 3 hours to just be focused strictly on spending time with him. So it's kind of nice for all of us.
Be aware. We are rare. Please share.